Hi, in this video I will show you SimpliTear Pro, which supports dynamic tearing as well as static tearing, so you have full control over animation and time of the tearing when should it happen. So let's just start to add a plane, for example like this, yeah, and we can see in edit mode it is really low res. Default faces plane. We make some subdivisions like this, something around this, and I will start with this. We can use random tear or dynamic, and we will start with the random tear. After this we hit apply, and you got these new settings here, random settings, activator, and simulation settings. So with the random settings we have this random tear, how it is shown, and we will see some random tearings. We can play with the tier numbers, of course, we can make more, something like this, but for realistic tiering we should use not that much. Something like 9 should be okay, or 2, like this, like 4, 5. 5 is great. We can play with the seed and get the needed tier what we want, for example. So let's play around, and oh, this was really nice. I like this one. So, and if we just go over to the next step, it's the activator. We can use this activator to activate the tearing during animation. So, but we will first start to show the simulation. There's nothing. And so we go over to the pin. I select something like this. Oh, I need to hold shift. Control, sorry. Hello. Not want how I like. Like now it works. So we have this pin. Now if we test, you will see it's pinned. It's great. And now we go over to add an activator for this. We take a dummy for now, and I will show you how this works. We can just play and touch this, and we will see already it is affecting, and only tears up if the activator is hitting. But we notice it is colliding too. We don't want the collision. We want to have only the tearings. Make this. You will see. And notice it's only get tiered if the activator is hitting this section. Yeah. So we can do something like this. We can play around here. And we get these results. But sometimes we have an object which is going through the cloth or something, and it should be like so, then like this, and we will use her only for collision. Okay, so we have something like collision going here. We make an animation, slowly go over here. Okay, and you will see it's colliding, but it gets intersection, of course. But if you want to have this as a collider and mesh activator, we can use this. So till it is touching the needed points, we can see there's no tearings here. We make it a bit bigger. And we will notice if it's touching the cloth, it will tear. So what we can do here too is to show a little bit more better. Showcase here up, and of course you cannot change settings during the simulation because we have here the specialized algorithm and workflow. This only works if you reset this button, and here we see already it's going through. So if we don't want this, it's going through, we can play with activators. So we can have so many we want, okay? So we can now like checking the simulation and see when this should be tier, like around 20, okay? So we go over here and use this activator in this scale and hit I for insert keyframe, and here it should not affect it at the moment. So we have here a combination of a mesh activator and a dummy activator. Let's see how the results looks. I select the cloth and you see it works, but I don't want to have collision on it. It destroys the effect. You see it is showing this collision. We don't want it. So this should be the collider. This should only activate the tiering. And again. Yeah, that's what we want. And it was really fast. Like I show you, I talk, and if we're doing this without talking, we will get much better and faster results, I think. So of course you need to practice a little bit at the beginning. It was too early, so I don't like this. You see, it should stretch. It should stretch more. So we can use it like this. And now it should be like going more. Yeah, that's more interesting. We saw here some stretching, but it's okay. It's okay, but I don't like this. We need to adjust it too. So a few frames before, we can now push the sphere a little bit up and scale it up. And now we will see the result again. So the ears are now clearly free. And that's it. So if we put self-collision to it, we have little, you see, during the simulation, we should not do it. So we see a result like this. We can now add a modifier, subdivision modifier to it afterwards, after the point, the workflow up. And if this is too early, I don't like it, it's too fast here. It should stretch a little. So we take this keyframes, put in like here. And again. Let's have a look. Yeah. That's what we want. So we have really stretching first. But anyway, this is too fast. I don't like it that much. So put it here, a little slower. Yeah, now we have it. And that's the random tier. So we have a random tiering, it's happening. And of course we can adjust it when we want. And if it should completely tear up, the pins should go off, we can just scale up the activator, the dummy activator, and it will just get completely off the pinning, and we see this effect. Now it should be broken completely down. And this activator you will not see in the rendering, so this is a good controlling point. You can have how many you want. So if we make a new example for this, I just remove this, remove the dummy activator, add a new plane, and I now want to have more control inside of this object. We go over dynamic, and of course we need some resolution here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, 6. Yeah, that's great. we apply it. Now we can pin, and I will pin again, hop, like this. We pin and we check it works or not. Yes, it works. Okay, so yes, not changing during. Yes, and the intersection is happening around here, 27. Here it should slowly tear up. But now we can have a control how the tear should be. So if we make a little higher quality, we can check when it really have stretching. Some around here. Now we can think about how it could be, how the tearing should be. We can make it like here, the most stretchy way is here. So it should like tear this way, and we need to think a little bit. So if we go to draw it, go in the front view, it jumps to the first frame. We can toggle the X frame and we can see now how it should be tiered. So we have most stretching in the eye area here. So let's try to think and make it interesting. I really recommend to go with the cloth object, which should be tiered as near as possible to the screen, like we see it right now, to avoid issues. So it works the best if you zoom as much as possible to the viewport and then you're drawing the tearing like I do it here. So this is really important to get better results. I hit finish and we'll see here what is happening. It's the activator, yes, but we have some issues here. Yeah, we have some issues. It is working, but it works too fast, and I don't want to be an activator anymore. Okay, so we remove the dynamic paint here. And we will check again. So it should not affect the cloth. It should just go here, and we will now play only with the activators. Okay, so what you can do is you hit the demo activator. You push them like here, and if it is reaching this point, or something like that, it could start to tear. Yeah, so if this is reaching the point, it will start tearing in this side and go and go and go. And here we can slowly grow up the tear. So I make for the dummy activator keyframe here, and something around here we can scale it a little bit so we have more of the tearing happening. Okay, so let's test. Nothing happened. Why? This is because of the cache, perhaps. So we play with the quality, with the settings a little bit, and test again. It won't work. Why this is? Perhaps from this side. We go from here to here, just for example. Aha, yes. It is too less of painting here. And I think we should go a little bit earlier. So we can make it like here. And slowly go up. Okay, now it should work. We can slowly go frame by frame. And if it will paint Yes, it's too less, it's too less. No, it not works. Perhaps it should be here. Yes. It should be working from here. So if this not works, sometimes it happens. In my case, it works good. But what we can do here is we can parent this dummy to the monkey. So it will follow completely. You see, it will follow, but I don't like this at the moment. And we can animate it too, of course. We can make it very small first and make it like here. And from this frame to here, it slowly can grow up like this, okay? And let's test again. There it is, what we want. That's great. And here we have the full control of it. And I don't like the tierings I have created here. So I need to make a little bit more, okay? So let's try this. We just go over to draw line and make something like this. Additionally to it. So it will be interesting. Yeah, let's try this. Nice, nice. And the activator does a good job. But sometimes we don't want to have this hole of the activator. So let's keep it that way. Small, okay? Let's keep this small. And we can have now more. Yes, it should be like this small. And we can now add more activators to it, okay? So this may have some intersections. I want to have a more random kind of tiering. So it should go here more and there more. We add a second activator, which can, I think about where we can add it. Yes, so let's go to the ears. Just so easy. We go to the ears and parent them. Second, here. So it should have a little bit of more interesting tiering. So let's check again. Yeah, it works. Yes, now the ears, you see this? We have full control over the tiering. Great, I really like it. So we can see the ears here too. So this kind of easy workflow for random tiering and full control of it, you don't have inside of Blender. And with this add-on and with this option of the add-on, you will be able to achieve really interesting results and very fast. So if we remove all, go just simple over, again, dynamic, some subdivisions, we apply it. Now we can pin, up, like this, like this. We pin it and we check it, of course. Yeah, something works. and we want to have just really controlled tearing, or whatever you have a project, whatever. You can already use the old method to make tiers, of course, without the dynamic or the random tier. This is the full basic default tiering, how it works from the light version, but we want to have it dynamic. And what we do here, we have now full control. So something went like from here to here. For a movie, something is broken up like here, like here. Yeah, so we have something tearing like this, and make some noise here, and we finished. That's it. But of course nothing will happen. We add the activator, of course, and now we can animate it like I showed you before, or we just test it by just dragging it. You see, we have full control over it, and this is amazing. So if you want to put off the pins, just go over the pin sections and it will fall down. Look at these results. And now we have making like a really random and let's see. Ah, yes, of course it was not recorded. Man, what did I do? Of course we can record what we do. So this breaks, this breaks. Oh no, all breaks. We have full control over it. And I'm happy with this, 108. And the cache is doing. Look at this. So easy and so cool. So we can make whatever we want just with the default activator. But if it should be directly here, it will already break here. So it's every time completely new. And this kind of pinning I don't like. Oh man, let's go over here. Okay, I have recorded this, sorry. Let's go over here. Something like this. So it could directly unpin here. Okay, it should be like this. So the effect is gone, okay. Don't like it, so we make it like this. Insert keyframe, going over here. So in this part, this could slowly. Oh, it's a little bit too fast. And play again. Yeah, now it makes more sense. Ah, and here we have something like this. And again. It's a little bit too late, but don't worry. You get the point. So we have over it full control. We can make whatever we want. And to achieve realistic tearing and have full control over it. So I hope you like it. And this was only very, very basic examples. And we will show you much more professional examples. But for now, you get the idea of how this works and what you can do. And if you don't need all this, you just want to make a static mesh of something. We subdivide it a few times. We go over fast cloth. We go over to pin it, whatever. Testing, yeah, it's great, but we want to have tearings on it. Raw. Okay, we want to have regular. Yeah, and we want to have sharp, like this. And we got just the default results of it. And be aware, of course, the sharp one is the most intensive, but most realistic. And we have created our realistic tearing cloth here. Look at this. This is the default way behavior. I want to have more details inside of the regular. It should be broke here. Something like this. We're just playing around. Finishing, it will tear directly the object. We can test it in the simulation. Look at this result. Just in a few seconds. All the best and only the best. Bye.